At Cornhusker Auto Center, bragging is not our style, but that doesn't mean our customers can't.
Great people, easy transaction, went out of their way to help. Thank you.
Amazing place to buy a vehicle. Great staff all around.
I would recommend Cornhusker Auto to anyone.
Time out!
Welcome once again, where we will take a timeout to talk about Lutheran High Northeast to start off today's show. Lutheran High had opened the season with back-to-back big-time wins, lost 2 straight games, won, but really didn't have a whole lot of rhythm at Elkhorn Valley. Coming home on Thursday night to take on Laurel-Concord Coleridge, a team that I felt was really kind of on the cusp of the ratings. It was one of those games where it was like a playoff atmosphere, freeze warning, a little bit of precipitation, and Lutheran High made a statement. Jackson Camp, 55-yard touchdown on the first play of the game. I didn't even have time to get my pen out here, Jackson. Well, Lutheran High Northeast got off to a 30-0 lead, including a big touchdown play on a 4th down. 42-16 final. Jackson Camp had a huge game. He accounted for all 6 Lutheran High Northeast touchdowns. A man's game for Jackson Camp.
It was going to be cold, so we're going to really rely on our run game. You know, it's kind of that ground and pound.
Talking with Darren Sucksdorf afterward, he felt his team really did well as far as executing the game plan.
It's a big physical little team, and kind of playing in playoff weather too. So I think it's a good measuring stick just for us when the cold weather happens. If we can and we need to ground and pound a little bit, we're capable of doing it. Even though we got some great skills that we throw it around to, but we're also going to run the game, run the ball. Starting off the Friday night games last week, we'll lead off with Norfolk High School, where the magic number is 1 for the 2nd straight season. The defense stopped Omaha Central on a 2-point conversion in overtime, preserved a real big-time 21-20 win. Norfolk is 3-4 on the season, but they're 2-1 in district play. They are in the exact same situations they were a year ago. They travel to Lincoln Pius X for a game that is basically win in you're in type of game. Turning our attention to the 8-man ranks for a moment, not a lot of attention given to some of these teams. One of those is Wisner-Pilger, and the Gators are probably for real at this point. Stayed undefeated on the season so far, went off to a 50-0 lead in the 2nd quarter, ended up with a 62-28 victory over Homer. Sets up possibly a huge regular season finale when Wisner-Pilger will take on Wakefield, who is another one of those one-loss teams. In another big game over in 11-man, we talk a lot about these rivalry games. There are just certain games that seem to kind of get the blood going a little bit more. One of those matchups is Battle Creek and Norfolk Catholic. Really kind of a surprise that they weren't able to play for 6 years, but when the series resumed a year ago, you could kind of tell that this is an extra special game. Here's the thing though, coming into Friday, this is always one of those games where you just kind of throw out the records. You throw out the fact that coming into Friday, Battle Creek was 0-12 against the Knights since 2002. You just kind of throw that kind of stuff out because Battle Creek can do things like have a 19-play, seriously, a 19-play drive here, folks. 71 yards, took 9 minutes off the clock. Battle Creek finishes off a huge 30-0 homecoming win. And talking with Coach Andrew Carlson afterwards, you could tell that this was a big one, and not just for the kids, but for the community in general.
I think 2001 is the last time that we beat them. So it's been a long time, and we didn't play them for about 6 years there. So it was nice to get this rivalry game going again last year. And it's something that our community's big behind. It's something that our kids, they might not have been around that last time, but they know about it because their parents have been involved in it, their grandparents have been involved in it, and it's important to them. They really were excited about this game.
Caden Renner had a big game, 26 carries, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns rushing. Reese Bodie added another rushing touchdown, 68 yards. Really sets up kind of a de facto district championship game next week at Hartington Cedar Catholic. Here's Caden Renner after the game.
There's a lot of momentum going on in our season, and we're just going for that district champion spot, so that puts us one step closer.
A lot of games to watch this week. Mentioned it earlier, 4th-ranked Battle Creek at 6th-ranked Hartington Cedar Catholic. West Point Beamer travels to Pearson. Pierce really could wrap up its district championship with the win on Friday. And a couple of huge games in 8-man. Undefeated teams taking action is Central Valley travels to Chambers Wheeler Central Ewing. And Humphrey St. Francis, which really hasn't been tested a whole lot this season, they may get their first test Friday night when they travel to Riverside. For all the local sports, just buy the paper, digital subscription, information is behind me, and gotta tell you, I went to go visit family over the weekend and the gas bill cost a little more than that $4.99 a month. Until next time, I'm Nick Bench, and thanks for taking a time out with us.